witchlings, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your local chaotic witch aunt. And today's video is talking about how to work with a new tarot deck, or oracle deck, or Lenormand, whatever you are open with. For this video, I was very blessed to receive a package of the new Green Glyphs collection. It is a set of 4 divination decks and a hardcover glossary by James R. Eads, who created the Prisma Visions deck, favorite of mine. So I figured I would unbox this with you guys and then we can get into the nitty gritty. Where'd my son go? Thank you, Helios. So this is the Green Glyphs Kickstarter. It is a set of 4 divination cards and hardcover glossary. I am so honored to receive the entire box set. I got a cute little like scroll type thing with it. So, firstly, shit, this is beautiful. Can we talk about this? I'm struggling. Gorgeous inside. I'm gonna set this on the ground. We got the glossary, the runes. Oh my God. Oh, it includes dice. Holy shit, excuse my language. The Lenormand, which I am so ridiculously excited to receive a Lenormand deck. I've never done a Lenormand before. Very excited. Green Glyphs and Oracle, and then Tarot. This is so cool. So we're gonna check each of these out. We also have the hardcover. If you are interested in the Green Glyphs Tarot, it is $45 retail and $40 Kickstarter. It is 78 cards with prismatic gold edges and a custom blue box with 120-page guidebook. It is beautiful. It has the major and the minor arcana meanings. The Green Glyphs Tarot will follow the meanings of the traditional tarot system we know and are familiar with. I personally recommend any tarot deck for beginners when you're really looking at the tarot, because this one as well has very similar art to the Rider-Waite structure. Then we have the runes, which is $40 retail and a $30 Kickstarter price. It is a set of 24 cards with prismatic gold gilded edges and a custom orange box with 65-page guidebook and 3 bronze-plated 8-side dice. I am obsessed. These included dice provided an alternate way to draw runes. This is James R. Eads' take on the Elder Futhark runes, which is an early Nordic system of divination that's been around for millennia. Typically, runes are found in the forms of stones, dice, talismans, etc. Although, this one is a deck, and it was created to help James R. Eads better understand the meanings of the symbol behind each rune. Each card has both its runic symbol, traditional name, and an image that encompasses the meaning behind the symbol. Love that. Moving on, if you are interested in the Oracle, like I am, Oracle is $40 retail and $35 Kickstarter price. It is 50 cards with prismatic gold gilded edges in a custom green box with an 80-page guidebook. Oracle, as we are familiar with, is a set of divination cards that abides to its own structure. It is different from tarot, and it deviates from traditional systems of divination. Many of the cards in this deck came from James R. Eads' own universe of symbolism. You may find very many gazebos scattered throughout the work. James R. Eads uses color as a key for understanding the impact of a card as either positive or unfortunate. But gazebos are seen to James R. Eads as a symbol of celebration and appreciation for the present. And then of course, if you're interested in the Lenormand, it is a $30 Kickstarter price. I don't know anything about a Lenormand deck, but it is a set of 41 cards with prismatic gold gilded edges and a custom yellow box with an 80-page guidebook. The origins of the Lenormand can be traced back to 1800. It is comprised of a set of 36 pictorial symbols that can be used to tell a story and offer insight into the future. In this updated version of the Green Glyphs Lenormand, the box, card, finish, and gilding have been improved. I love that. There you can get the full box set, including the glossary, which is a 380-page hardcover that covers the entire collection, including all information in the 4 booklets, as well as an additional section on using the collection as a hybrid deck. You can get the full box set for $155 on Kickstarter. You are saving money here. I love to see it. So now that you've got a little bit of a proper introduction into each part of the Green Glyphs collection. Maybe you saw one that you really liked. We're gonna talk a little bit more about bonding with a new deck. Because these are all new decks to me, I am actually gonna be going through this process with every single one of them, which is a lot. I also am really excited to dive into this glossary. It is hardcover, it is gorgeous. It gives you learning tarot at the beginning. It gives you a Lenormand section. It gives you a rune section and an oracle section. I love hardcover decks or hardcover glossaries and guides because I feel like they're so much easier to use and they last a lot longer than the paper guides. So I'm really grateful for this. It looks gorgeous too. It'll fit right on my bookshelf or in my tarot area. Furthermore, we're going to talk about bonding a bit and learning a new deck. I have quite a few decks to learn with these bad boys. And that is very exciting. It's very exciting for me. So bonding with a new deck is really going to be specific to the practitioner. A lot of different people are going to do different methods of bonding. You don't even have to bond with a new tarot deck or a new deck in general. I love bonding with decks that I haven't used yet. So I will most likely be doing some bonding exercises with the Lenormand because I'm really interested in learning it and it looks like a great way to start off. You can sleep with the deck underneath your pillow. You can also do a get to know you spread. What a get to know you spread is, and what I like to use it for, is kind of almost like asking the deck how it's going to help you and what you need to know about it. So I kind of start off with the question of, hi, like tell me a little about yourself. And then I move into, tell me a little about yourself. I move into, what are you going to help me the most with? What is something that I can use you for? And through kind of each of these, spend a little bit more time working with each of them. I love get to know you spreads. I think they're quick, concise, and they work really great, especially if it's a deck that you've never used before. You can pull each one and spend a little bit of time looking it up, spending some time being like, what is this? What does this mean? I use get to know you spreads pretty frequently, or I just kind of launch into using the deck for something. I don't recommend that, especially if it's a deck you've never used before, like a Lenormand or an Oracle, or even the Rune deck from the Green Glyphs. I would really recommend starting with tarot and launching into it with tarot. If you want to cleanse the deck, I always cleanse my decks. It's really up to the, like I said, up to the practitioner. Same with charging. Cleansing for me is almost always smoke cleansing. If I like to do the traditional kind of way, or the way that I'm most comfortable with, I will anoint my hands in rue cologne or rue water. I will hold the object in between my hands and I will recite 3 Hail Marys. That is my blessing. That is how I bless things. It's how I consecrate things. I typically do that with veils, jewelry, etc. Anything that I'm really interested in wearing, I will do that method. That's kind of the folk Catholic approach of like, I'm just gonna say a few Hail Marys and call it good. If you wanna charge it, you can add a crystal on top. That's kind of giving, I like to say give it a little snack. You can also place that tarot deck on your altar underneath some herbs. You can even set up a little herbal bath for the deck. And what I mean by an herbal bath is, I mean you take a bowl, pop it in there, throw some salt, some herbs on top. I used to have this very large thing called the salt jar, and the salt jar was where I put, it was like in a giant honey container, and the honey wasn't in there anymore, but it's where I put things that needed to be purified. If we're talking like smoke cleansing, of course, you know, for purification, you don't have to smoke cleanse. You can do little anointing. If you don't want to get oil on your decks, which is like perfectly valid and relatable content, you can smoke cleanse. You can even do a spell. You can just do a white candle on top of it to purify. I've done that a couple times with objects that I've gotten from thrift stores. I do a hardcore smoke cleanse, and then I pop a little chime candle on top, call it a day. For me, keeping things near me, on my altar, on my person, etc. is how I bond with them. I can pick up its energy, it can pick up mine. So maybe I'll carry the rune dice around in my pocket for several weeks. And maybe I will go out on my way and sleep with one of these, put it in a bag, sleep with it under my pillow. To be fair, my bed is really dirty right now, so I may not do that. And these are all kind of my personal methods for bonding, cleansing, charging. And getting to know a new deck is really the fun part. My favorite way of learning a new deck is exploring it. So I love to move this glossary. I'm gonna grab the rune deck. I love to just look through the cards. Here is the little thing. We got the dice. Move that to the side. Then I'm gonna pop the rune deck out. I love just looking through it and seeing what feelings it gives me. So I don't know anything about the runes. I was totally planning on doing the runes, but I wasn't. So here is Wunjo, and it has a very particular symbol on it. I would say that this is giving me a feeling of gratefulness. It's giving me a feeling of extending love to others. It's a very positive vibe, according to this card. Versus Hagalaz, this looks kind of apocalyptic. There's a lot of meteors coming down. So I would give these kind of two different vibes. One would kind of give me the vibe of feeling grateful, give me the vibe of feeling gracious, positive, and one would make me a little anxious, give me the tower vibes. And I am using the tarot to kind of help me understand these rune cards because I'm very familiar with it. So now we're gonna kind of open our little book, and first we're gonna look up Wunjo. Okay, here we go. These are within, Wunjo is the force of life, one of the forces of life. Joy, self-acceptance, fulfillment, and positive. And Merkstav, I believe, is upside down. Joy, self-acceptance, fulfillment, positivity. So it did feel very similar to that. And then when we look at Hagalaz, which is the force of from the forces of the gods. This is disasters, disruptions, destruction, sudden change, fear of the unknown, learning from misfortune, and growing pains. So I think that learning the runes, these cards, would be really beneficial for me because there are these artist depictions and it would help me kind of become more comfortable with it. And then eventually maybe I would move into the dice, or I would use them both. Oh, I dropped it. Whoops. I think using these two together would work great for me. I'm gonna pop these back in here. Another way I will learn the deck is I would be pulling a card every single day and journaling on it. So this is the Lenormand from the Green Glyphs collection, and I'm just gonna give it a little shuffle. Give it a little look-see. See what's going on here. Maybe it'll give me a card that I need for the day. Okay, we got Ace of Spades, which is the lady. So then I'm gonna take my little book. I'm gonna go to 29, which looks like it's the end. The lady or the gentleman too. Represents the querent or someone in the querent's life. This card is spoken about by reading the surrounding cards. So the Lenormand is very different. I've never, like I said, never looked at a Lenormand. So this is representative of the querent. So combinations, Lupe, a lady, a beautiful lady, dog and lady, a friendly lady, clouds and lady, confused lady. So it looks like the Lenormand is more storytelling. Okay, well, with the Lenormand deck, my method doesn't work, so I don't know anything. So I'm gonna actually have to study the Lenormand. So for the Lenormand, I'm actually gonna have to go in and kind of learn more about the deck before I just hop into it. But with an Oracle deck or a Tarot deck, I work great with just pulling a random card and learning about it. I mean, technically this kind of worked because I was learning about the Lenormand itself. Learning a new tarot deck is a process that will either take you a long time or a short amount of time. I know tarot decks that I bonded with immediately, or Oracle decks, or just card decks that I bonded with immediately, and I just started using them in my readings, and it was like so clear and so open, and it really positively impacted my readings. Versus I've met decks that I kind of struggled with a lot, and it was really difficult for me to connect with them. Some of my favorite decks are, you know, the Dali Tarot, the Woodland Warden's Oracle. I'm like dreaming of it now. I love both the Embroidered Forest and the Embroidered Graveyard, the deck and the Oracle deck. The Tarot and the Oracle. I have most of my tarot decks over behind me. It is like a mess right now. Please don't look at it. And I have my money pulled up. So my room is a mess and we're just gonna ignore it. More ways to bond with your deck and to learn a new deck is to kind of work on it every day. I understand that not everyone's gonna have time to do it every day. That's all right. Every other day, every week. For me, I'm the type of person that I need to do something every day or I completely forget about it. So if I want to learn the Lenormand, I need to like do that every day. Because otherwise I'm just gonna forget everything. I'm really surprised because I've been reading tarot for 6-7 years. I've been reading Oracle for 6-7 years. Probably from before I like identified as a witch and did spells, I've been working with tarot decks. I can't believe I've never picked up a Lenormand. It's not usual for me to find something new that I've never tried. That's not true. I haven't tried a lot of things. But I'm really curious to know what bonding or learning a new deck looks like for you. Maybe you like putting a crystal on it. Maybe you like putting it near your favorite plant. Maybe you like doing a spell with it, or you do a get to know you spread. Maybe you smoke cleanse or sound cleanse or do everything in between. But let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear about it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in the James R. Eads Kickstarter, it'll be tagged down below along with their YouTube so you can learn more about the green glyphs collection. And I will be spending the next week or so learning the Lenormand. If you want, you can like, follow, comment, turn the bell on, subscribe, at absolutely no pressure. Remember to drink water and have a fantastic rest of your day. Siate benedetti.